That's always fun. That's the first time I look at it. Check.
Something wild, stranger dressed in black, she's a hungry child. No one knows who she is or what her name is. I don't know where she came from or what her game is. Hot child in the city. Hot child in the city.
I saw the cat at my door. So I came into you, sweet lady, answering your mystical call. Crystal ball on the table, showing the future, the past. Same cat with them evil eyes, and I knew it was a spell she cast. She's just a devil woman with evil on her mind. Beware the devil woman, she's gonna get you. She's just a devil woman with evil on her mind. Beware the devil woman, she's gonna get you from behind. Give me the ring on your finger. Let me see the lines on your hand. I can see me a tall, dark stranger giving you what you hadn't planned. I drank the potion she offered me. I found myself on the floor. Then I looked in those big green eyes, and I wonder what I came there for. She's just a devil woman with evil on her mind. Beware the devil woman, she's gonna get you. She's just a devil woman with evil on her mind. Beware the devil woman, she's gonna get you from behind. Stay away. Look out. If you're out on a moonlit night, be careful of the neighborhood strays. Have a lady with long black hair trying to win you with the feminine ways. Crystal ball on the table, showing the future, the past. Same cat with them evil eyes. You better get out of there fast. She's just a devil woman.
Thank you. Welcome to the Mooresville Grade School District Board of Education meeting, May 4, 2024. At this time, I would like to have a moment of silence. Thank you. Before we do the Pledge of Allegiance, I customarily do a quote, but we graduated about 9 days ago, and I got to thinking, I'm not sure if it was Deb or if it was Roger a number of years ago that talked about how Mooresville is special and unique and that everything funnels its way up to the high school. So the graduation is a culmination of not only the class of 2024, but it is a culmination of 13 plus years of work that staff, teachers at all the schools have participated in to get to this momentous occasion. And I would like to thank all of those teachers, all those folks that influenced the class of 24 to make it to that stage because it was a collective. I'd like to thank the students, obviously, the teachers, the staff, the central office, the board members present and past for everything that they did to make Mooresville what it is, a special place. I'd also like to take a moment. I think one of our speakers who may be actually here tonight, one of the senior speakers, asked us to pause and reflect on the little things and those moments. And I think that it's important that we do take a moment to pause and reflect and appreciate the little things that happened throughout the year that ultimately result in significant things over time. And it happens time and time again in the school. And we tend to overlook these magical moments for something that's down the road as opposed to enjoying the moment. And I think it's important for us to enjoy the moment, enjoy the class of 2024 and what they accomplished, and wish them well in the future, and thank the teachers, staff, central office, and all those that have been associated with the school district to
And their
help this
parents.
achievement.
They-
And the
put in a-
parents, yes,
yeah.
yes. Don't forget the parents, certainly, certainly. Thank you. At this time, we will do the Pledge of Allegiance, and I understand that we do not have anybody to do it specifically, so we will lead it. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to entertain approval of the agenda.
I move we approve the agenda. You mean the agenda?
I have a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Approval of the minutes of the May 14th meeting. I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the minutes as presented.
Second. I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Dr. Gardner?
Good evening. Each month, we have the honor of recognizing one of our district employees who demonstrates strong professionalism and dedication to our district with the Above and Beyond the Call of Duty Award. This month, we'd like to recognize Kellyanne Miller, Behavior Support Assistant. So at this time, I'd like to ask Kellyanne to come up to the stage. Just kind of hang out here. Yep. Kellyanne was nominated by the Student Services team, and here's a little bit about what they had to share. Kellyanne goes above and beyond the call of duty every day. She works hard to ensure that students she works with through the PRC interventions feel cared for, valued, and supported. She advocates for what's best for students that she works with and empowers them to be the best that they can be. She's the ultimate team player for the behavior team, consistently solving problems before they even arise. She's a forward thinker who empowers her colleagues by challenging them to think outside the box. Kellyanne creates and maintains a positive environment in the workplace as well. She is always there with words of encouragement, a helping hand, and infectious energy. Please join me in congratulating our June ABCD Award winner, Ms. Kellyanne Miller.
On behalf of the Mooresville Graded School District School Board, we recognize Kellyanne Miller for going above and beyond the call of duty, June 2024. Thank you. Where do you want it? Right here.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. Let's give her one more round of applause as she heads back to her seat. All right, next, for our Spotlight on People, tonight we have the great opportunity to recognize two of our sports teams, very successful teams from the spring. So I'd like to first call up the Mooresville High School softball team conference champions. June is a tough month to get everyone here with school out, but we didn't want to miss this opportunity to recognize a great team. So if you guys hang right here, we're going to read a little bit about your season, and then we'll give you your certificates. Mooresville High School softball team had a season to remember, finishing with an outstanding record of 24 wins and only 2 losses. The team finished with a fielding percentage of .970 and a batting average of .380. From the first pitch to the final inning, each player brought their unique strengths to the field, seamlessly complementing one another to create a formidable force on the diamond. The Lady Blue Devils' journey was marked with thrilling victories and hard-fought battles, showcasing their resilience and determination. Whether it was a nail-biting comeback or a dominant display of skill, this team consistently rose to the occasion, leaving spectators in awe of their talent and tenacity. Their remarkable season was cut short, but served as a testament to the power and dedication in achieving extraordinary feats on the softball field. Please join me in congratulating the Mooresville High School Lady Blue Devil softball team, 2024 conference champions.
On behalf of the Mooresville Graded School District Board of Education, we recognize the Mooresville High School varsity girls softball team for the 2024 conference championship. Congratulations.
Way to go, ladies.
Coach, we've got certificate. We'll just give you the whole stack and give them out at the banquet.
Okay.
Perfect. Here, we got to get a picture, right? That's the most important part.
Congratulations. All right, let's give them another round of applause. They head back.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
All right, next we have another conference champion. I'd like to invite the Mooresville High School girls soccer team to the stage at this time.
Smile. That's right.
The Lady Devils soccer team finished their season not only as conference champions, but also as the Western 4A regional runners-up. Although nobody wants to be runner-up, this was a historical playoff run for our team. When these ladies began training in October, it was with a mindset that they wanted to win the conference. They had a little unfinished business from last season where they were set to accomplish this goal but fell short due to some injuries to key personnel. This season proved to be different. The Lady Devils finished with a record of 18-4-2, and this season was a total program effort with 63 goals and only 15 allowed for the entire season. History was made by this team up on the stage, winning our first ever 4A conference championship, making it to the Final Four, and finishing as the Western Regional 4A runners-up.
Woo!
Coach Hudson and her team did want to express a special thank you to the school board and the Blue Devil Nation as a whole for all the support and love shown throughout this historical run this season. So let's give all the fans as well a big round of applause for supporting the team. Please join me in congratulating the Mooresville High School Lady Blue Devil soccer team, 2024 conference champions and Western 4A regional runners-up. Before Ms. Bender reads the certificate, I believe yesterday we had the announcement of All-State. I believe we have an All-State player on the stage as well. So Claire Downing, if you'll raise your hand.
Way to go.
Let's give her a round of applause.
On behalf of the Mooresville Graded School District Board of Education, we recognize the Mooresville High School varsity girls soccer team as a 2024 conference champion. Congratulations, ladies.
Good job, ladies.
If you guys hang tight, we'll take a picture. Oh, okay, that's perfect. You just have something to know. Yeah, it's all right to get up there.
Just don't take a knee.
I noticed you guys have a little picture.
Yeah,
Yeah, watch that speaker behind you.
Congratulations.
Good job, ladies. Good job. Smile. Good job. Good job.
I don't want to stay and listen to all the nice, wonderful things that are happening.
Probably not. I mean, that's my gut instinct.
Come on. But. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Smith.
All right, as a reminder, the next regular board meeting for the Mooresville Grade School District is June 27th, 2024, and I believe that'll be at East Mooresville Intermediate. 6 o'clock, as usual.
No.
9:30.
9 a.m., that's right. That's right. Gotta put my alarm on, 9 a.m. Be duly informed. Staff reports, Dr. Gardner.
Yes, sir. We have Dr. Royal up first with maximizing opportunity and achievement.
Good evening. Check, check. There we go. Good evening, Mr. Whitfield, Dr. Gardner, members of the board. Tonight, I bring you updates first from athletics. As you just saw, we honored 2 of our outstanding spring sports teams from the high school. We also, from the last board meeting, we did have Mooresville High School junior Eric Heel. He finished in 3rd place in the 110-meter hurdles and in 5th place in the 300-meter hurdles at the 4A State Track and Field Championship meet last month. And again, just a shout out to all of our spring athletic teams, both at the Mooresville Middle School, Selma Burke Middle School, and Mooresville High School for an outstanding spring sports season. Again, highlighting at the high school a few of our teams, the boys and girls lacrosse teams on historic seasons, as well as our softball and soccer teams that we honored here this evening. Some updates from C&I. From the Mooresville High School, we had 2 students, Benjamin Moore and Robin Schneckler, from the CTE Film and Video Department at Mooresville High School. They've been recognized as the North Carolina winners for their video in a world of 8 billion. In the world of 8 billion, Student International Video Contest that was sponsored by Population Education, the 2 seniors, Benjamin and Robin, are members of the Blue Devil Update staff. They're responsible for the weekly Mooresville High School TV show. This year, over 3,100 videos were created for the annual International Student Contest. Participants were challenged with the task of producing a 1-minute video on a global topic that was related to human population growth, including at least one idea from a sustainable solution to the challenge. This year's topics were climate migration, invasive species, and health. The winners were voted on by a panel of 49 judges, and those are all professionals in their respective fields from around the world. Benjamin and Robin created all of the original animations and drawings. Special congratulations to both of these students. Our summer programming has begun. I have an overview. If you would like more details, I can provide that with our numbers, but wanted to give a quick overview. Between all of our programs on our campuses, right now we are serving approximately 400 students this week in our different programs that it's including our summer school, our traditional summer school for grades 3 through 12, as well as our high school CTE camp is going on, as well as our students at NF Woods in the My Way program. Next week, we anticipate serving over 500 students between, again, our traditional 3rd through 12th grade summer school, our middle school CTE camp, our Read to Achieve camp, and our Y Readers program. For our EOGs and EOCs that have summer testing available, those tests began today, and we will wrap those up on June 18th. Special thank you to all of our staff members who are teaching and working with our students this summer. A special shout out to Mooresville Middle School, Mooresville Intermediate, our Magnolia campus, and Parkview. Those campuses are hosting and accommodating our programs for the summer programs. We also have BASP at EMIS, so this is again is an all-in effort from our district when it comes to our summer programming. Special huge thank you goes out to Ms. Conley, Ms. Gemma Conley, for her really spearheading the planning and taking over at the last minute for our details with summer school. So again, thank you to Ms. Conley, also Ms. Slaughter, Laura Slaughter, who was recognized recently at the Operations Awards for being the Administrative Assistant of the Year. She's a great asset to the C&I House, so she has really stepped up and helped Ms. Conley as we prepared for our summer programming to begin today. She worked closely, Ms. Conley worked closely with all of our school and our district administrators. So again, thank you to everyone to help ensure that our summer programming has gotten off to a good start. And lastly, I want to make an announcement that our Mooresville High School Class of 2024 summer graduation ceremony will take place on Monday, July 8th. That'll be right here in the PAC at 9 a.m. Any questions at this time? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And next up, we have Safe, Happy, and Healthy with Dr. Albert and Dr. Smith.
Good evening, Dr. Gardner, Mr. Whitfield, members of the board. As Dr. Royal said, summer programming has already begun. In our EC department, we have 2 evaluation teams working this summer to meet our federal and state timelines. One team is doing play-based assessments for children who are receiving early intervention, so they are placed by their 3rd birthday. And the other team is doing school-age evaluations to make sure that we can determine if they are eligible for services prior to the school year starting. We're also serving students who are eligible for extended school year, and we're also planning professional development for next school year. With about 25% of our EC teachers considered beginning teachers next year, we plan to focus on topics such as understanding the disability categories in North Carolina, the eligibility process in North Carolina, IEP development, and creating appropriate goals to meet the specific needs of students with disabilities. We will also provide professional development around inclusion and understanding the behaviors of students with disabilities and how to intervene when they're in the general education setting.
And a couple more topics from Safe and Happy and Healthy. The Center for Safer Schools, the North Carolina Group Center for Safer Schools, is providing behavioral threat assessment training for our district, for all schools in the state, but our district team in July, and that will be, our team will go and then come back and train our school-based teams. We are awaiting the final report from our safety audit and the executive summary. We should be receiving that very soon, and then we'll be sharing that information with the board. Tonight, Mr. Reddick will be sharing information and statistics from our 2023-24 Random Suspicious Drug Testing Program. Also, through our state safety grant, we are finishing up this week installing all our cameras on all the new camera systems on all the buses, and all that will be completed this week. And our operations, all of our operations teams, but specifically our maintenance department, are busy with lots of summer projects to ensure that our facilities are ready for the start of school in the fall. That is really echo. That's all. Sorry, it's major echo over here.
All right, thank you both.
Thank you.
All right, next we have Recruit, Grow, Retain with Ms. Kuhn and Ms. Davis.
Good evening, Chairman Whitfield, Dr. Gardner, members of the Board of Education. We are in the midst of, in human resources, of hiring and hiring season. And so our school principals are very busy. Our department leads are busy making offers, conducting interviews, and HR is busy processing them. So you'll see quite a few that we'll get to approve tonight. I think that our schools are in a very strong position to be able to fill vacancies. We do see some of the same struggles that other school districts are seeing around those math, science, and EC positions, but we are working hard I also wanted to note that we are planning a number of development opportunities for staff in terms of retention and onboarding, and we have our new teacher orientation that will be coming up in July, at the end of July. It'll be here before we know it, July 29th through July 30th. And then we're also working with our chief of schools on an AP retreat. There's administrative trainings this summer. And we're also ensuring that we're planning a customer service type developmental opportunity for several classified staff roles, and that'll be in the fall. And so that's what we are collaborating on right now. You have any questions?
The customer service stuff, you're talking like front office attending that? What
There'll
kind
be
of
a
positions?
number of staff roles. So first position, people who are interacting with the public and with colleagues across the district.
Thank you.
That will be mandatory?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Also, Mr. Whitfield, Dr. Gardner, members of the board. In the finance world, it's June. So the primary focus of our department during the month of June is the fiscal year closeout. Our team is working hard to finalize invoices, perform the final payroll of the fiscal year, and meet all local and state federal closeout requirements. And as mentioned last month, we continue to receive state allotments that must be spent by June 30th. I just received some more yesterday, making this year's closeout even more challenging. And then, as always, a focus remains on the upcoming fiscal year. Several challenges will be presented in the 2025 fiscal year, including the Department of Labor's new changes to the Fair Labor Standards Act and additional athletic funds reporting requirements from the state. No new budget action has been taken so far in regard to salaries and benefits, so if things remain unchanged, the biennium budget that was adopted into law in October of 2023 will be implemented in July. And that completes my report.
So just for clarification, we're saying that today is June 4th, and the state is still sending money that we have to spend by the 30th.
Correct.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
And really before the 30th, because Ms. Davis has a job to close out everything by the 27th and make sure everything's zeroed out. So it is a quick
The
turnaround.
big question is, why have they been holding on to this money? But it's a rhetorical question at this point. We all know the answer. So.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
All right, next up we have Ms. McLean with Culture of Relationships.
Good evening, Chairman Whitfield, Dr. Gardner, and members of the board. Tonight I'm just bringing you a couple community dates that I would love for everyone to be able to put on their calendar and be prepared for. The Back to School Bash is just 45 days away, believe it or not. And it'll take place on Saturday, July 20th from 8:30 to noon at Mooresville Middle School. This great community event has been happening for several years now, and we are so fortunate to be able to have it in our district for our students who need school supplies, new shoes, and gently used clothing. So you can learn about the details at b2sb.org. I've also posted on social media. And then our convocation, our annual convocation, which is an amazing day to kick off the new school year, will be on Thursday, August 1st. So please mark your calendars for that to the board. And then the date and time for our Mooresville Longest Table has officially been set. We ask everyone to mark their calendars for October 6th, 2024 at 1 p.m. to gather around the table down Blue Devil Boulevard, break bread together, and experience the power of we. Please stay tuned for information on securing your seat at this event and several volunteer opportunities that will be available. Are there any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. What time will convocation? Do you know what time it will be?
It's 9 a.m.
Convocation is 9.
Yep. Sorry about that, I thought.
Yep.
Doctor?
All right. Good evening, board members. While the last day of school was on May 22nd, we have definitely stayed busy here in Mooresville Graded. On Thursday, May 23rd, we held our annual Operations Appreciation Awards and Luncheon. where we were able to recognize the hard work and dedication of our classified staff members who go above and beyond to provide an environment where all of our students can grow, thrive, and succeed. We also held, as referenced before, our graduation ceremony for the class of 2024 on May 25th at Joe Pop Stadium. I just want to say a big thank you to our district maintenance staff, technology staff, leadership team at Mooresville High School, as well as the counseling department at the high school. They all went above and beyond to make sure this event was a success. And as much as, our soccer team, we thought there was a chance they might have to play that Thursday before at home. Mr. Neal and our maintenance team had a plan to work through the night to make sure they could play at home. We could still hold graduation. So it's an all-in event for sure. Finally, I'd like to take this opportunity, speaking of graduates, to recognize a generous donation that was recently presented to Mooresville Graded. So to help ensure that all high school seniors in the class of 2024 could graduate debt-free, the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Foundation donated $20,000 to cover unpaid charges that any graduating senior accumulated during their years in Mooresville Graded. And I do think it goes without saying, as much as we appreciate that, we will continue to advocate for the General Assembly to evaluate free universal lunch for all students in North Carolina. Absolutely. This demonstrates how much of a need it really is, and we would like to see them take action on that. So we can't thank the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Foundation enough for their continued partnership, and continued support of our school system. And that concludes my comments.
Thank you, Dr. Gardner. And I'd reiterate the same thing. We're so blessed with community partners that are so faithful to our children here, and it pays off in the long run, and we're excited. Thank you. As a reminder, as the board knows, there's a policy and law conference next week to be mindful of that. We talk about the end of the school year, and we're talking a little bit about the beginning. First day of school, I think if my math is right, is 64 days away. And convocation, of course, is August the 1st. And I believe April mentioned the teacher luncheon, which is July 29th, at least on the calendar it is. And June 27th is our board meeting, which I previously announced. And so we're going to have and the work session on the 17th. So we're going to have a busy month this month, and serving the community and serving the children of this district. So please be mindful of all those activities and dates, and we're excited about 2024, 2025. Public comment? Kevin? None?
No, sir.
Thank you. Items for information, Dr. Gardner?
All right, as Dr. Smith referenced before, we'll start with our annual report on our random suspicionless drug testing program.
Is it on now? It was echoing a while ago. Now, so as we do every year at this time, we bring you our statistics from our random suspicionless drug testing that we do in our schools. And I get to turn this over to Mr. Reddick to share with you this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Mr. Whitfield, Dr. Gardner, members of the board. I am Mark Reddick, Director of School Safety, and I had the honor of administering this program this year through the help of Dr. Smith. And just to remind of our policy under 4326, grades 6 through 12 participate in this program. And if you voluntarily participate in scholastic athletics, voluntary competitive extracurricular activities, or campus parking, you agree to our drug program. The purpose of this program is due to the widespread substance abuse concerns to Mooresville Graded as well as our community. And we have kind of a three-tiered approach to it here. We're looking to educate, deter, and support students regarding substance abuse. To identify those students who are in need of assistance and provide counseling. And 3, most importantly, to provide safety in our extracurricular activities and to foster a drug-free environment. The selection of the students, we're given a list of all of those students who participate in those activities. They're given to a third-party contractor, and so they will provide us the actual students to be tested. And then there's a third-party medical review officer who actually reviews those results. School personnel, all we do is bring the students in, and that third party then takes care of all the testing, collecting the samples, and giving us the results. So our personnel really don't do anything other than just simply check the students in and check them back out. To ensure fairness and transparency, that coordinator randomly selects all of those students. So here's the big numbers. 258 students were tested. Of that, 166 from the high school. Mooresville Middle School had 45, and Selma Burke had 47. And of all of those, we only had 7 students test positive. And in comparison to the previous years, we had 9 last year. We had 1 in 21-22, and then going back to 2021, we had no testing, and then 3, and then 4. So our numbers are not necessarily increasing, they're staying about the same. For a student who tests positive, there's immediate loss of privilege to whatever activity that they were in. There is a parent and student meeting with administration. Community resources are provided during that meeting, and they're required to produce a negative test to be reinstated back into their sport or that activity. Of the 258 students tested, this is the demographics. We had 173 white, 48 black, 21 Hispanic, 11 mixed race, and 3 American Indians. The testing program this year cost us $7,224 to implement. It works out to be about $28 a student for every test that they do. And with that, that is our report. Do you have any questions?
Are we allowed to ask at what the positive tests, at what level they occurred? Were they middle school, high school? Do you know? Does our policy allow us to look at that?
We had 6 from the high school and 1 from the middle school.
And so the percentages, do we have a dedicated amount that goes to the high school, or is it completely random?
It is completely random. I simply provide that third party with all of the names, and I tell them to give me numbers back, and they give
So we can't, I mean, we could have had 80% being at the high school and a smaller percent being at the middle school, possibly?
It's the same percentage across all 3 schools. Right.
Okay, all right.
It doesn't look like it can be completely random. I mean, because the demographics of the kids who were tested matches our demographic population anyway, in terms of race or ethnicity.
That's why I was asking, because, I mean, you're looking at 17 and 18% in the middle school. I mean, that's pretty.
I would say that you have about the same amount of eligible students, and then the high school has a much higher eligible group because of more sports, parking passes. And I do think that our demographics is close. There are a couple spots, our Hispanic population is larger than our tested percentage. So there are some variances there, but ultimately, the reason we keep an eye on that is to make sure that we don't see a certain demographic that's disproportionately being tested.
Do we have a lot of parents that are opting in? I know we have an option to opt in to it if they don't participate in the programs that make them eligible. Do you know what the numbers look like for parents that are opting in, even if they're not playing sports or driving? Like, I'm thinking about the middle school level. Such a small population play sports there. I wonder what the numbers look like for parents opting in to the program.
It's very small for the people who actually opt out of it.
Okay.
It's more important for the students to actually participate in the activities.
I know this may have been asked maybe a year or 2 ago, but do we have any sort of formalized follow-up beyond the clearing of the child in order to go back to play sports, just to see maybe from last year, the ones that were positive, are there any? I know we're providing them information of different places where they can get treatment or seek help, but I didn't know if there was a formal follow-up with any of those kids. And I don't know that it's necessarily designed that way, but I was just curious if there was a way that we track any of for recidivism and that sort of thing.
If they test positive, the only follow-up that we're doing is up until they get to that negative testing point. And if they test again, because they do get put back into the pool, so they are subject to be retested at that point.
So it's a chance that they may not be retested. Is that what?
Correct.
Okay. And
After
then,
they pass their test.
yeah, was this a hair sample or urine test?
This is a urine and saliva test. We started out the year with the urine testing, and then we were able to change the policy and went to the saliva testing. So that's what the last, I think, 5.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And can we get a copy of, I'm sure it's a pretty big one, but can we get a copy of the panel of things that it looks for, if you don't mind?
Sure.
Yeah.
10 different, 8 or 10 subjects.
Yeah.
I believe it's a 10-panel test.
Okay.
But I can get that for you.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's important for the public to understand that this is suspicionless testing, that we always have the right to test folks who present with behaviors
objective symptoms?
yes, who appear to be under the influence. Yeah. And
Yes.
do we have any information on how many students were tested because they were or appeared to be under the influence?
No, we didn't have any. Everybody that tested positive were simply the ones that were selected.
I have a question for the repercussions here for the temporary loss of privilege. So if they are a parker, like they drive to school and and that is the only reason that they're pulled because they have the parking pass, what do their repercussions look like?
Their parking pass is revoked, and it is held in the office until they provide us with a negative test. And if they choose not to provide with a negative test and choose not to do that, then they simply lose their parking privileges.
Okay, for the rest of the year?
For the rest of the year, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
I'm just wondering, with the concern about vaping and the number of kids today, just in general, who are not just vaping, tobacco-like substances, if we can even put into policy something that if they're caught vaping, that
Well,
they would automatically be tested.
Yeah, I think we would have to look at a policy, and I think that we would have to have some legal discussion around that as
That's
far
what
as.
I'm saying, yeah.
I just want to clarify, Dr. Smith and Mr. Reddick, if we have a student that's not eligible for testing and we had suspicion, we normally work with the families if we felt like they needed, that's not something we can do without parental consent because they haven't previously consented, correct?
Correct.
So I think we would have to work through that avenue because presently with our policy, everyone knows their eligibility. They pre-sign that they're in our screening pool. So, but it's certainly something we could explore.
So you want to explore the testing if you're caught vaping, like addition to the policy?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you, Carrie. What'd you say?
Dr. Marsh said potentially looking at expanding the policy, that if you're caught vaping, that we could test substance, we could test
Because it takes parental consent, I think what we would have to examine is that if we wanted to offer reduced punishment in exchange for entering our testing pool, but we can examine that further and look at what scenarios we have.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. I believe we have up next our school nutrition procurement plan.
Mr. Whitfield, Dr. Gardner, members of the board. So you had in your packet the school nutrition procurement plan. This is a very extensive plan, as you probably read through and saw. The purchasing requirements for our school nutrition program, since they are a federal program, are very rigorous. and our school nutrition department does a great job at following those to the letter of the law. Anytime there is a change in leadership, such as our school nutrition director and/or we have a board chair change, then this procurement plan needs to be updated and signed. So currently, there are really no changes to the processes, how things have been procured in the past. We're just needing the plan approved and updated to reflect our new school nutrition director, Ms. Birchfield, and Mr. Whitfield and Dr. Gardner's signature. So we would ask that you approve this procurement plan as presented.
Okay, members of the board, there's a school nutrition procurement plan that has been recommended. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, I'll entertain a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I believe Ms. Davis and Ms. Birchfield will stay at the microphone for our school nutrition bids.
Thank you, Dr. Gardner. Speaking of procurement and school nutrition, we have our upcoming fiscal year 24-25 school nutrition bids that Ms. Birchfield and her department have worked hard at getting. The bids that you see here are rollover bids from fixed pricing, so we are on year 3 for produce with Foster Cavness, milk with Marva May Dairy, and food and supplies with U.S. Foods. And we do not anticipate any other new bids that would cross the $90,000 threshold that would require board approval. So we would ask that these be approved as presented, please.
Board, we've heard a request, a recommendation to approve the school nutrition bids for, is it 2024, 2025, or is it?
Yes, sir.
2024, 2025. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I move we approve the bid as presented.
And I'll entertain a second. I have a motion and a second to approve the school nutrition bids for the 2024-2025 school year. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Davis is going to stay up for our interactive panels purchase.
Yes, sir. So this is year 3 of the interactive panels. So this was, you have in your board memo the history of the panels that have been purchased and where those panels have been installed. So this is the final phase of the K-2 classroom plan, and this would be for kindergarten. This bid was procured through a cooperative purchasing program, so we have that contract pricing, and we would like to purchase the 30 boards through BridgeTech for a total price of $111,346.52, and capital outlay funds have already been earmarked for this purchase. So we would like to request that you approve the purchase as described.
Okay, members of the board, we have a recommendation to complete the purchase of the interactive boards for July of 2024 through, tell me the name again of the company.
BridgeTech is the vendor.
BridgeTech, they're Promethean boards.
Correct.
And those will be 30 boards for the kindergarten classrooms at a cost of $111,346.52. Capital fund outlay has already been utilized to purchase. I'll entertain a motion.
I approve that we.
Go ahead. You're good.
Go ahead, Gary. Go ahead.
I move we accept the bid as presented.
And I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
All right, one more for Ms. Davis. She has our annual student fees.
Yes, sir. So also in your packet, you have the student fees. You're used to seeing this format. And as far as the fees are concerned for the upcoming fiscal year, the only changes are the out-of-district tuition. That's a formula that's just based on our Iredell County funding, and we have preliminary numbers for that. We have a driver's education certificate reprint fee that has been added for $5. We do have meal and price increases for our breakfast and lunch prices at 10 cents. We're not allowed to increase more than 10 cents a year, so there are 10-cent increases on all that. And then there's also a student ID badge reprint fee after 2 badges have been provided of $1. And those are the only changes that you'll see on the fee schedule. So we would like to recommend that you approve the student fee structure as presented.
Members of the board, we have a recommendation for student fee structures for 2024-2025, comprising of out-of-district student tuition, driver education certification, reprint fees, a meal price purchase of 10 cents, and student badge reprint fees after 2 badges have been provided. I'll entertain a motion.
So move.
Entertain a second. Second, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving along, our facility fee structure for next year, Dr. Smith.
Thank you, Dr. Gardner, Mr. Whitfield, members of the board. I bring to you some changes for our fee structure for facility use for 24-25 as per board policy 5030, community use of facilities. We've done a little bit more research in comparison with other districts, and our fees are a little lower, so we are looking to go up on our fees specifically for this venue. For right now, it's $100 per hour, and we'd like to increase that to $150 for nonprofit organizations, and for-profit organizations go from $150 to $200. In addition, we would like to go up $5 per hour for the folks that work here in the venue, production technician, site supervisor, and student technicians to cover the increasing cost of personnel. In addition, events that do not finish by the allocated reservation time, we would like to incur a penalty that is equal to double their rental for the first hour and triple the rental for every hour after that. Any questions?
I agree with that penalty. Could there be a caveat that so long as it's not our fault that the event is slow?
Oh, absolutely,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we would have that ability
Right,
to
if there
waive
was a
that.
power issue or something
Sure,
like that. Okay.
sure.
Absolutely. Any further questions? If not, there's a recommendation for facility use fees for the 2024-2025 school year that they be approved as recommended in our papers. I don't know that I'll go through every one of them. I would entertain a motion at this time.
Chair, I just want to say that I will recuse myself from this vote as my daughter is employed by the PAC.
Certainly. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
I'll entertain a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the facility use fees for the 2024-2025 school year. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we have our CT local plan. For a second read, we have Dr. Royal and Ms. Blocker.
Good evening again, Mr. Whitfield, Dr. Gardner, members of the board. Last month, you were presented with a review of the 2024 through 2026 CTE local plan for Mooresville Graded School District. This presentation included a review of key initiatives from the 2023-24 academic year, as well as a review of the plan for the upcoming 2 years. You also received a copy of the plan and expected budgets for 24-26. Tonight, we're asking for board approval of the CTE local plan for 2024-26. And at this time, if you have any questions, Ms. Blocker and also Mr. Wilson's in attendance as he presented the plan last month, but either of the folks could answer any questions that you have at this time. And then Mr. Whitfield, once we do, hopefully, approve the plan, I do need a signature this evening as well to send to DPI.
Certainly.
I don't have a question, but I just want to say it took me a long time to read through all of this. So thank you, and I appreciate you compiling it and putting it all together, because if I was just reading it, I can't imagine how long it took you to do this. So thank you.
All I appreciate you acknowledging that. We recently received a calendar from DPI that lists out 214 annual reports that they ask from our district staff. So that's one of those 214.
Yeah.
And it certainly takes Ms. Blocker's time and our district staff's time away from what we really want them focused on in teaching and learning and students.
Thank you. I have a recommendation to approve the CTE local plan for 2024 through 2026. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the CTE plan, local plan for 2024 through 2026. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
And before Ms.
Thank you,
Blocker
guys.
leaves the front, she was unable due to family illness to make our May meeting and to be recognized as a retiree. So I just wanted to pause and say thank you for all your hard work and dedication. You're leaving us in a great place with all the work you've done with CTE. So thank you so much.
Well, it comes that time in the meeting where we must enter into closed session to discuss personnel and consult with the board attorney pursuant to NC General Statute 143-318.11, subpart A6 and A3. I will entertain a motion to go into closed session.
I move we move to closed session.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Okay.
Oh,